Nice.
You guys, you live all over the shop. You live all over the place. Dan's down there.
I think just
you guys up in the Boston area. How do you kind of stay connected as a band? Is there somebody there who is the catalyst for keeping this together, or is it?
I write to people pretty regularly to send them to be sending them versions of the mixes, sending them versions of the videos. So we email each other back and forth fairly regularly, artwork, things like that, shows.
Yeah.
Also, recording. We're trying to arrange a recording. We've never done this before, but it seems like it's what we have to do if we're going to record. Do it, remotely. And we've been talking about that. We have a track to do for you, the Sinatra one. We have a track to do for Black 49. And I believe there's another one that I'm not remembering right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like me and Jim and Rick live close enough that we can play at Jim's house. And so we can get a rhythm core recorded all at once in one place.
I think it's crucial to have that live.
Yeah.
That's the way we always do it. We've always done it with everyone, but yeah, as long as we can have 3 or 4 drum, bass, guitar, I think we can work off of that.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, if you've got that sort of rhythm section in the belly, then you're winning, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think that you guys have been recording some music, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you record? How or where do you record the drums?
At Ken Winnicker's.
Yeah, we did do it at Ken's space.
It was like a month before the pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah, so we got the recordings in, and then everything shut down. But Ken was mixing stuff. Yeah.
Ken's been mixing for over a year now, and it's brilliant.
Tell me about it. What style is it?
Jim
Well,
Jones?
it's us guys, and it's
like psychedelic lounge.
Yeah. Too many people play ska.
Right.
Too much of that. What I've always liked about Bim Skala Bim is actually, you do come across immediately as a ska band, but in truth, you're kind of bringing a lot of other things in there as well, aren't you?
We've been doing bossa nova on ayahuasca.
Somebody told me something interesting the other day, right? And it made me think about you a little bit in terms of how a band with such longevity that lives so far apart delegates who's doing what, and how a band stays together. Typically you will get guys that kind of almost accidentally start to take responsibility for certain things. Like there'll always be a guy that books the rehearsal room. There'll always be a guy who makes sure there's a van available for gigs. And there'll always be the guy that actually writes the songs. So, or the guy that looks after the money.
4 or 5 of us write songs, so we can start there. But as far as the things to do, T-shirts or booking or collecting money, it all came pretty naturally. All of us can tell you what our specific jobs are. Jim Jones always did the mailing. Back when in the day, it was very important to get the cards out.
I was really good at licking stamps and
internet.
You didn't actually lick them, did you? I used sponge.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a sponge eventually, but no, that was back then.
Eventually.
This is a long time ago, and I would go to the copy shop down the street. These guys, George and Bearish, these really cool guys. And I would put together these clip art stuff and put it on a piece of paper and put it on the photocopy machine and make this ridiculous looking card, this big, send it out to our mailing list. And then it was a good job because then I would just sit there and put the stickers on and put the stamp on and watch a movie on TV. And that's the kind of job I like. So
nowadays we've got computers. And,
I heard of those.
Did you guys have Electroset in the States? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what it is. Did we use that though? Mark, you did a lot of graphics, right?
Yeah.
We put letters on once in a while with that stuff. Not too much.
Do you remember the first album? I did the back cover with just stick-on letters.
Yeah.
Rub it on. Yep.
That's
Our first album, I peeled off the letters, stuck them on the back, and then we pasted the photos.
Yeah.
These eyes that follow after you. Are you disoriented blue? These eyes that follow after you. Are you disoriented blue? Moon ray, you don't shine in darkness. 3 o'clock, the sky's no longer sure. They drop me, yes, they almost hurt you. I want you to let the feeling go. Let the feeling go. These eyes that follow after you. Are you disoriented blue? These eyes that follow after you. Are you disoriented blue? Something shaking up from all the bars, only creeping through the darkened halls. How many distant drummers make it? From that comes light, don't let it break you. Don't let it break you. Lightless place, not in a lightless place. These eyes that follow after you. Are you disoriented blue, blue, blue? These eyes that follow after you. Are you disoriented blue? Just remember. They follow after you. Are you disoriented blue? These eyes they follow after you. Are you disoriented blue? These eyes they follow after you. Just a little disoriented blue. Just a little disoriented. These eyes they follow after you.
I took a picture.
So yeah,
took a picture.
Mark is usually in charge of artwork. To the album, from the album covers to the t-shirts and stickers and stuff like that.
And merch.
That's t-shirts and
Yeah.
merch, yeah. Jim Arhelger always collects the money at the end of the night and divvies out the money and does the
I always
taxes.
try to
So
avoid
sort of
that.
the accountant, maybe you would say, but that used to be Rick's job. For many years, it was Rick's job. He carried around the cash in the thing that we called the kahuna.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had several thousands of dollars in that thing at
Yeah.
any random time.
I did a tour, managed a few tours across well, just through Europe and things, and had this what we call a fanny pack,
Yeah.
which is like a bag that
Yeah,
straps
yeah.
like a belt. And after about a month, this thing was just full of, it was, if anybody grabbed that, the whole tour would have fallen apart. It's so full of money, so full of contacts and all of this.
Rick may have lost it once. Rick, tell us about that.
Left it on the toilet in a motel.
Ever.
You misplaced it. I seem to remember.
I remember there was a nervous moment. I remember that.
Left it on the back of a toilet in a hotel.
Right.
Jim
I don't
has
even
the best
remember that.
memory.
You get it
In
back
Michigan.
there.
In
Did we get it?
Michigan.
Yeah,
Did we
yeah.
Get it back?
Yeah, we got it back.
Yeah.
That's,
And
I
John
guess that's the
Yeah,
only
we got it
one.
back.
John Cameron was always in charge of fixing the van. I didn't want to leave out John. It was just
With
the van needed
with
something.
Mark.
It was it was Mark and John.
They
But,
built the van.
John did a lot of that as well. What other jobs?
I
did you
collected the
do?
money for a bit too,
Oh,
and
did
then
you?
got overwhelmed by it. I used to answer the letters. I used to have all the fan
Oh
letters.
yes, he would answer all the letters. He's the one who first
Right?
met all the people
Yeah,
through the mail, like Disorder and
yeah.
Publico
Evan
or
Dorkin
or,
and
Roddy
Brian
Moreno.
from Germany, and all these guys.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember wheat pasting? You remember putting up posters for local
Yeah.
gigs with wheat paste?
Yeah,
We
Oh, yeah.
I used to do that.
Dan and I both had checker cabs. We bought them like the same month or something from a cab company for what, $300? They were
Two or
pieces of shit
$300.
with 300,000
Mine
miles
lasted
on.
longer
Well,
than yours.
About-
a giant
about
cab,
ready to
like a
fall
Hackney
apart.
cab, like a big thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're great
and,
cars.
And we would.
Really?
I think it was John Ferry and me, or I forget who it was and me, but we drove around one night with like a bucket of wheat paste that we just made flour and water and a wallpaper brush. And we put up like 50 posters all over Cambridge, Somerville, Boston. And I mean, it was 3 a.m. thing, run out of the thing, paste it on and run back in. And I remember seeing one of those posters like 4 years after that day. It was still up in Harvard Square. Yeah. On one of those switch boxes, those big electric switch boxes on the sidewalk. Freaking
Archaeology.
Bim Skala Bim at Jack's or some shit. It was still there.
They used to be real etiquette about that sort of thing as well, didn't they? That you didn't post over somebody's gig if it was still in date and things like that. We used to get
it
some
was
real
like
More or less.
unwritten rule. You don't post over something that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but if it's 2 a.m. and you got a bag of wheat paste and you got to get moving,
bad
John
bad
cheated.
reputation.
Morals then slack off a little bit. That's right. The code gets a little slack.
Lunatic is on the grass. Lunatic is on the grass. Remembering games, daisy chains elapse. Got to keep the loonies on the path. Lunatic is in my hall. Lunatics are in my hall. The paper holds their folded faces to the floor. And every day the paper boy brings more.
Okay, I've got something. This is a bit profound, maybe a profound question for you, because this is a thing that somebody said to me that made me think of, how with bands with longevity manage to stay together. Is, once you've been in a band for many, many years, I can't get comfortable. I can't decide whether I want to sit forward or sit back. It's a lovely sofa. But anyway, here's the thing, is that, say if a band's been together for 20 years, then those band members are probably going to want other things in their lives, like family or other careers, and so they go off and do that. But what happens is that one member of the band gets left behind. He's the one that stays hip, if you like. He's the one that stays within the music scene, stays with the contacts, while everybody else are working towards other things. Do you see what I'm saying? So in some respects, one guy in the band is almost denied the opportunities in life that the other band members are, in order so that somebody still keeps that band ticking on.
Well, I guess that'd be my job.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I think it didn't, in a way, it didn't quite go all the way down to one person with our band, which is good.
Really, I was going to say that. Really, I was going to say that, Mark.
Yeah, that we managed to sort of a softer landing. The same thing kind of happened, but we ended up, everybody sort of kept their foot, in the pond or whatever, their toe in the water kind of.
Yeah.
And so it was like, at all points it was, I mean, I would say like salvageable, where the way we sort of, in a way, discovered it was like when the Boss Tones invited us to play in 2009 at the Throwdown. And we hadn't played since 2002, but it was like a good offer to play in front of a sold out house at home and stuff like that. And it was just a matter of getting everybody in town. And we sort of pulled that show off, and it showed that we were as much as we had sort of gone in different directions since 2002, we were actually still kind of on the same page. We hadn't drifted far enough that it wasn't oh, look, we can just get back on stage and we're a band. It didn't take much. I remember
we did one rehearsal for that show after a solid 7 years of not playing together. And I also, what you didn't mention is that the night after we opened for the Boss Tones was New Year's, I think, or a couple of days later.
At the Middle East.
We sold out the Middle East, man. So yeah, we came back strong.
That was actually a better show than the Boss Tones show.
Hell yes. That's why I had to mention it.
So the thing is, the music was there and the friendships were there, still just connected without any problem. Wouldn't you say? It was just oh yeah, we're back. Okay, good. We're doing this. It's all
the amount of time that we've spent together. We're brothers.
Wise up! So many things waste away. Can't live without a postcard a day. Tastes so sweet and not made to last. Obsolete, I can pass it fast. You better wise up. Yeah, wise up. You better rise up. You better wise up. Wise up. Don't let them push you around. Criticize, waste of time. You're not even looking at the water sign. Everything is at your door. Can you tell me what it is you're waiting for? You better rise up. Yeah, wise up. You better rise. You better wise up. Wise up. Don't let them push you around. Don't be defeated. What's misleading? Wait to drag it down. Now let's see it. Disbelievers. What is it that you found? Don't be shaken. Vessels break when it rains. I was moving, fast is moving, slower to leave the You better rise up. You better rise up. You better rise up. Don't let them push you around. You better rise up. You better rise up. You better rise up. Don't let them push you around now.
And being in a band is essentially being in a family, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're in one long enough, yeah, for sure. Which is, you know, what
We'll be
happened with us.
celebrating 40 years, Mark and I.
Yeah, I remember like when Nick did some shows with us, Nick Welsh did some shows with us in 2015. And like he walked into, a kitchen, we were all waiting for him to show up because we were going to rehearse or something like that. And he like walked into the kitchen and like looked around and like literally he started to cry because he couldn't believe that it was really just all of us again. I mean, and the last time he had seen us was like 1988 or something. He was like, it's all you guys. I mean, and he didn't expect that at all. He expected some of us, but not all of us. And he said, there's really not another band like this. Like, how is it all you guys still?
Same
And
original guys, yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't really explain it other than,
This song's called Riots in London Town. Shepherd pushing bow. There's a riot going on. Bermondsey Manor House, the angel wolf from Stowe. There's a riot going on. London town is falling down. It's a place that I don't know. There's a riot going on. Riots in London town. Riots in London town. Riots in London town. Riots in London town. Say hello to Hackney South. Kiss old folk goodbye. There's a riot going on. God bless Napa Grove Man. And God bless Peckham Rye. There's a riot going on. London town is falling down. And I just don't know why. There's a riot going on. You can sing it with me. Riots in London town. Yeah. Riots in London town. Riots in London town. Yeah. Riots in London town. Mr. B3. Oh, Johnny-O. Shepherd pushing love. There's a riot going on. London town is falling down, and I just don't know why. There's a riot going on. and it makes me wanna cry. There's a riot going on. Let me hear ya. Riots in London town. Yeah. Riots in London town. Yeah, come on. Riots in London town. Are you ready? Riots. Let's hear it for Vinny. Let's hear it for Vinny. Riots in London town. Let me hear you sing it. Riots in London town. Beautiful. Riots in London. Let's try this. Come on. Riots in Portsmouth town. Let me hear ya. Riots in Portsmouth town. Very sexy. Riots in Portsmouth town. One more time. Riots in Portsmouth town. Here we go. From Camden Town to Brixton, Shepherd Bush and Bow, there's a riot going on. Bermondsey Manor House, the Angel Wolf and Stone. There's a riot going on, you get me? This London town is falling down, and I just don't know why. There's a riot going on. Riots in London town. Bim Skala Bim. Riots in London town. Riots in London town, yeah. Riots in London town. One more time, come on. Riots in London town, yeah. Riots in London town. Oh. Riots in London town. Riots in London. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
One of the things I've always said, and I think everybody agrees, we always try to have something to look forward to. I think that's what keeps us together. Something to look forward to. Oh, we're going to Europe in 6 months. Oh, we're going to a big festival in Virginia next year. Oh, we got a new album. You know, something to look forward to. To be honest with you, it doesn't matter to me whether there's 100 people or 1,000 people or 2,000 or 5,000 people.
Yeah.
100 of our friends is a great fucking party.
I think that might be an aspect of why we stayed so close and never like went the way of some bands where they draw apart, and because we always, as our success happened, it was always in this kind of, I think, just this sweet spot of like, we were always these shows that like were just big enough and not too big. Yeah, and then we would open for bigger bands and play on these big stages where we were like 10 feet apart and everything, and that whole thing. Just, we bonded in this very intimate, fun as hell situation.
How many times do you show up and say, "Oh, how the hell do we fit in that corner?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The Tree Cafe, that was small.
Yeah, you're like, I remember just Mark is like right over me sometimes, and that's how part of how you get a groove together is you're just tight, physically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that sort of tightness only comes from that sort of show, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah, totally.
And many of them.
And many of them. Yeah.
Mark leaned over my shoulder at one point, and this was years ago, because I'm the one that's less in the band than anybody in this Zoom call, probably. But Mark leans over my shoulder at one point and goes, "I think I just calculated we played Ja Laundromat 1,500 times."
How many songs out of the set? I mean, if we're talking about, you released your first album in the 1980s, how many songs? Banging's still in the set, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
We do. I like to say we do songs from every album. We do songs from every album, pretty much every set. That's what I like to say. I don't know how true it is.
Pretty close.
Close. It's definitely close.
It's close. It's close to true.
Is there a song that you've always done? No matter what.
Digging a hole.
Yeah.
They're gonna hold
From show one, Ja Laundromat, every single
Yeah,
show.
probably every show. Ja Laundromat.
Wash all our sins away down at your laundromat today. And when the wash is getting done, we're gonna have us a little fun. You know your laundromat is not a laundromat like any laundromat you've ever seen. When you're washing and you're drying and you're folding your clothes, you can rock to the music machine. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Godliness, I really must confess, all my pets are a mess. Got me plenty washing to do. I got my CDs and my bed sheets too. Oh, 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 oh. Wash all our sins away down at your laundromat today. Wash all our sins away down at your laundromat today. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Believe me when I say, Ja Laundromat will give you a lift. While your clothes from the tumble, you can go out back to roll a little speed and take a whiff. Oh, 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 oh. Wash all our sins away, eh, eh. Down at your laundromat today. Wash all our sins away. Down at your laundromat today. Wash all our sins away. Down at your laundromat today. Wash all our sins away. Down at your laundromat today. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh.
Cool. The thing is, though, is they still sound like Bim songs, don't they? The Sonic Tonic album still sounds like Bim Skala Bim, even though it's loads of different writers. It's years and years of experience that are going to change how you approach your writing, how you approach composition, how you approach lyricism, how you approach arrangement. But still, you hear this, and it's very distinctive sound, I think. And I'm not really sure where that comes from.
Can I say it has to do with so many years of playing together? It's like Mark and I are joined at the hip. When Mark plays something, I don't even hear it. I just play it. It's, Rick and I are joined at the hip. We're like Siamese twins, all of us. It
is true. I can feel when Augie's about to do a roll, some kind of fill, and I know when it's going to end or how it's going to end. And I can totally on the fly adapt whatever bass line I'm playing to take advantage of whatever Augie's about to do. It's like he says, we're joined at the hip. I can feel it in my head before he even does it. I can feel it coming. Like there's probably a little subtle thing that's happening in the run up just before he starts it, and I can just I can hear it.
Feel it coming.
I can feel it coming, and it's so it gives us a sort of a dexterity on the fly, which in a way, I don't know, as far as I know, you can only get by actually playing together. Yeah. I mean, you can be a really good musician and you can imitate it, but a lot of that stuff only comes from actually playing with specific people.
It's like we can improvise but still be in sync.
Right.
Or have you ever written a song? Have you ever accidentally written Stairway to Heaven? I once wrote a song.
I wrote that first.
Right. I once wrote a song and I took it to the band and they said, that's going underground by the Jam. You've just ripped that right off. You've just listened to that song, taken its riff, taken its arrangement and everything. And now you're trying to pretend to us that you wrote that. And honestly, it was a total accident.
I can tell you there have been songs that when somebody brought them to the band, they say, oh, that sounds too much like something else. And we immediately just drop it. It's never talked about again.
That's kind of like a skill, whether it's learned or innate, that a songwriter, I think, has. I subconsciously, if you hear something and then maybe, actually my partner has that. She's like a parrot. Like if you sing any melody to her, she's like, she'll sing another song that sounds just like it. And so if I like start singing a song and then she'll start singing lyrics to the song that I'm actually subconsciously ripping off. And then if you can then change it though, you're like, okay, you can acknowledge that, but then take that as the inspiration, but then make it your own and
the best Bim Skala Bim songs that Dan and Jim and John Cameron, people who write the lyrics, they're stories.
Yeah.
They're not just, verse, chorus, bridge. They're stories. And you can follow the story and it takes you through the song. They're amazing stories.
Yeah. I love a narrative in a story.
I've always thought that, and I think Mark too, but one of the things I've always thought about that is I love the idea of making videos for them because there can be so visual too, but then that limits it. So there's two huge sides to that. Yeah. But I love the idea of videos. Mark and I were making videos before we were making music together. So videos have always been important to me, film in general. And so I think that when I write a song, I write it like a movie script.